it's Dr. Andy. Back to make another video. I'd hoped that I wouldn't really need to make another one, but there have been a couple changes, particularly with this Delta variant of COVID. So a new variant of COVID that's causing a little bit of havoc on our plan. And the primary change here from the CDC guidance is this is a more contagious strain. The vaccine still works pretty well against it, works better than flu vaccines do, and works well enough that if this was how good the vaccine worked back in October when we were learning about the vaccine, we would have been really happy with this vaccine. So it still works great, but just not quite as effective. So it's caused a little bit of changes. One of those changes is that if you are in, the CDC has said now, if you're in an area where there's substantial or high transmission rates, so high case counts, then you should still wear a mask in public indoor places, even if you're vaccinated. That's the primary change. Everything else pretty much stays the same. If you're not vaccinated, you should be distancing and you should be wearing a mask. But even if you're vaccinated, in public indoor places, you should wear a mask if you're in one of the counties with those high or substantial rates. And so the CDC has each county graded either low, medium, it might be moderate, I'm not sure, substantial or high. And so if you're in one of the top two tiers, even the vaccinated people should be wearing masks in public indoor places. Why would that be? And some people say, well, gee, what's the purpose of the vaccine if we still have to wear a mask? And this was sort of the issue way back when we started. Remember when we just got the vaccine, they still said wear a mask for now. And then we learned eventually this works well enough that things look pretty good. And now we've said, hey, if you're in a really high transmission area, then you ought to wear a mask. So, the way I kind of think about this is if somebody says, hey, I don't want to wear a mask, or why should I have to wear a mask? To me, it's kind of like I would ask, well, if you got on a roller coaster, would you wear a seatbelt? And because some people are upset, like, well, I don't want to have to be told what to do. I think in some cases, we have a little bit of that pride, and I have a little bit of that too, and we have to deal with that. But I think, yeah, well, when I get in a car, I'm going to choose to wear a seatbelt. When I get on a roller coaster, I'm going to choose to wear it because I want to be safe, right? And so it's really just about what's safe and what's not. So taking that, thinking about if you're in a roller coaster, you're going to wear that seatbelt, right? The mask is kind of like your seatbelt. And if we look at our case counts, this is a roller coaster, right? This is truly a roller coaster. As we go up, we go way up, and this is the Arizona data. And we see here these case counts are coming up again now. So that's kind of the situation we're in. The nice thing, and the mask is kind of like your seatbelt. The vaccine is the ticket to get off the roller coaster. And so that's, we were doing this, we got the vaccine that helped us get off the roller coaster. The problem is if not enough people get off the roller coaster, this isn't like at an amusement park. You can't just get off and you're off, right? We still have to live in our community with our neighbors and our friends. So if not enough people are using that vaccine to get off the roller coaster keeps moving. And the problem is whenever it gets to these high areas, we have to have that mask on. We need that seatbelt to be safe. If we don't have the seatbelt when the roller coaster starts doing this, we might be unsafe there. So if enough people get the vaccine and we can get off the roller coaster, we're fine. But as long as this is still going, then when we start getting high here, like we are right here, we have to put our masks back on, even if we took that vaccine. So this is our Arizona data of where the case counts have been. We've had those couple of really high peaks, and here we are over here just starting to climb again. I just recently moved. I'm now in Utah, so here's our new data from Utah. And we saw that little peak back in July. It was a little bit bigger in Arizona. And then you see as we went up here, that was the really, really big worrisome part back in the winter, right? But here we are, we're starting to climb again, and that's a pretty, that trajectory is going up pretty high. So the problem is, we hope this doesn't go up too much higher. Hopefully it will kind of even out. If we look at places where people that have already been dealing with the Delta variant, some other countries, generally speaking, it's kind of gone up and then come down pretty sharply where they've had pretty good vaccination rates. So hopefully our vaccination rates are good enough that even if those is climbing pretty high, it'll come back down pretty sharply. We don't know for sure. Usually when it comes up this sharp, it takes a little while to come back down. But hopefully our vaccination rates are good enough that it won't be that bad. So that was a little update I wanted to give you, and that's why I'm wearing a mask again when I go into public indoor places, because I live in a county with high risk right now. Hopefully pretty soon it'll come back down to substantial, and then even medium, and then I'll be able to take that mask off again. But for now, that's the safe way to be. I gotta wear my seatbelt because we're hitting one of those roller coaster peaks again. So that's your update today, Dr. Andy, and this is the second week of August now, but hopefully we'll get through this soon.